terms of relieving suffering, the reason you relieve suffering is not because by having people who are in distressed circumstances, they are worse off relative to other people. That's not it. What's it is that they are in distressed circumstance, and we care about people's distress. But we don't care about their distress because of a concern about equality.
Right. Right, and I believe, and you probably agree, there are many solutions that we as society and even the government can take that does not limit the opportunity of people who have made it. Solutions, for example, poverty-stricken neighborhoods would be, increasing the earned income tax credit or getting rid of the payroll tax, and these are steps that don't deprive.
Steps, yes, but I'd go a lot further than that, and maybe it is inconsistent, or maybe even a little bit incoherent of me to do that. But I would go further than that in a number of ways. If there are people in distressed circumstances who the things you mentioned would not help, I think there is an obligation, a human obligation, to relieve that distress, an obligation which we all have, if you like, our obligation as Samaritans, and, of course, as a community, we, if you like, socialize that obligation and carry it out in an effective way. But we do it, as I come back to this point, we do it not because what we're trying to procure is equality. We do it because it is inhuman to live amongst people who are in distress and in inhuman circumstances. There's another rather practical reason that we do it, which is a version of this, but it has a different quality to it, and that is that in a regime of liberty, you need to have a number of things. For instance, you need to have organized society, you need to have a police force, you need to have rules of law, you need to have judges, and, all the apparatus of government, you need to have that. Well, it is impractical, unthinkable, has never happened, that kind of necessary, if you like, infrastructure can exist in a society where there are a lot of people whose circumstances are so miserable relative to the average, not to mention the most fortunate, that it is hard for the policemen, the judges, the bureaucrats, whatever, to really treat them with the kind of fairness that the rule of law requires. In other words, I think that a free society, a society which respects liberty, has got to be a society built on law, which is well administered, which functions well, and it is, if you like, almost an environmental good that in such a society, which, as I say, is necessary to liberty, that all of the citizens, or, largest number of them, are in a state where they can be viewed as persons of equal dignity with you. Equal dignity, but not necessarily equal situation.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of this equality, though, and liberty for individuals, what would be your views on say, social equality, especially in pertaining to gay rights, specifically gay marriage, for instance?
Oh, social equality is, to my mind, a function of, or if you like, just another name for, the proposition that are equal. We are all equally free. We are all equally free, not in terms of the freedom that we have to use resources and enjoy resources, but equally free to live our lives as, given the resources we have, we are able to. Well, you look at things like laws, which, I mean, to take gross examples, what was wrong with slavery? Slavery could have been viewed as bad because it was grossly unequal, and it surely was. But what was bad about it can also be seen, can be just as easily seen as the fact that some people were not free. They did not have liberty. And as far as liberty goes, liberty being that ability to use whatever resources you have, your personal resources, whatever resources you can accumulate, whatever that the rule of law allows you to have, well, that liberty has got to be equal. There's nothing which says that you and I may love whom we want, but Oscar Wilde may not. That's not. Why is our liberty somehow greater than his? There's no reason for it. So you can view it as equality, you can view it as liberty. In this connection, by the way, I think Ronald Dworkin, who derives everything from equality, in these kinds of matters, his argument and mine come to the same thing.